Hello and welcome back. Our next student is Baris Kadem. Baris Kadem is a Bağlama player from Mannheim, Germany. Baris's interest in music led him to pursue a musical career in music from a young age. He graduated with a bachelor's degree from Polystylistic Mannheim in 2022. Baris has shared the stage with Kemal Dinç, Aynur Doğan, Ross Daly, and the Beethoven Orchestra Bonn. Baris's committee member is professor at the New England Conservatory, Mehmet Ali Sanlikol. His advisor is Professor Anastasia Petrova. Please welcome to the stage Baris Kadem.
Hello everyone and welcome to my CE presentation called Aşk ile, exploring the sound of Bağlama through a polystylistic approach. Aşk ile means with love and is also a saying in the Alevi culture, which I'm going to talk more about in the upcoming slides. About my project, my culminating experience explores the traditional instrument Bağlama, which is an Anatolian long-necked lute, in multiple musical settings, introduces the instrument to contemporary improvisational approaches that are not common for the traditional players, and provides new musical experiments done with the instrument. A little bit about my personal background. Coming from a Kurdish family, I gathered musical experiences in the realm of Anatolian folk music throughout my life. This musical influence came mostly from my mother, Şehriban Kadem, and especially my father, Fikret Kadem, who was a musician and a significant inspiration in my musical journey. He released 2 albums, with his first one being a collaboration with my now mentor and friend Kemal Dinç, which you can see in the picture. I started playing the Bağlama when I was 11. It took me about a year to start liking it, mostly because it's really hard to find Bağlama teachers with good teaching methods and open-minded attitudes. And in my humble opinion, even though the majority of the community consists of young and very talented musicians, the predominant idea is that the tradition can't be touched, changed, or enriched through the influences of different styles of music. Only a few Bağlama players like Kemal gave examples of showing the instrument in a different setting, shape, and genre. After my father introduced me to his music, I was fascinated in the sound and the way he played. It was the most important moment of my musical journey, and without it, I wouldn't be a musician today. A little bit about the Bağlama. The Bağlama is an Anatolian long-necked lute. The most standard way to play to have the instrument now is 7-stringed with 3 courses, but there's a lot of different variations of sizes and tunings and how to string it. And it's predominantly used in Anatolian folk music. Offshoots include the Greek bouzouki and the Arab bouzuk. So, my first tune is influenced by Erkan Uğur. I'm using his 6-string Bağlama that he developed, and he's also a very important role in the modernization of the Bağlama. Also, I have the piri, a traditional Korean instrument, together with a jazz rhythm section. I saw this as an opportunity to include 3 different cultural musical colors in one tune. And also it's inspired by Maestro Danilo's use of tetrachords as the main harmonic tool of the composition. The title of my project and the tune we just listened to refers to the spiritual love that is embraced by Alevi people. Bağlama plays a vital role in the Alevi Bektashi culture. Alevi Bektashi people form over 20% of the current Turkish Republic's population, and they represent a unique tradition in Islam, which formed during the 16th century when a number of heterodox Sufi brotherhoods in Anatolia united under Shiite tendencies. So, before I play my next tune, I want to say something about Aşk Veysel. He was the last significant Alevi singer-poet of the 20th century. And my next tune is an arrangement of one of his tunes. And before I'm going to play that tune, I want to play a bit of the original.
Anlatmam derdimi dersiz insana. Der çekmeyen dert kıymetini bilemez.
So I did an arrangement with jazz influence harmony and playing the bağlama in the different tuning too. And this arrangement represents my connection with the tradition directly.
Anlatmam derdimi dersiz insana. Dert çekmeyen dert kıymetin bilemez. Derdin bana derman imiş bilmedim. Anlatmam derdimi dertsiz insana. Dert çekmeyen dert kıymetin bilemez. Derdim bana derman imiş bilmedim. Hiçbir zaman gül dikensiz olamaz aman aman. Olamaz aman aman. Olamaz aman. Hiçbir zaman gül dikensiz olamaz aman aman. Olamaz aman aman. Olamaz aman.
And it was also me singing. I forgot to mention it. My next tune, called Dedication to Kemal Dinç, is a tune I recorded during the winter break with him together. And the concept we're using is zero gravity, which means being comfortable with the uncomfortable, going beyond known structures and forms of music. And the most special part about this tune is that we used bows mostly instead of picking the instrument, which is not a common thing at all for the bağlama. My tune called Solitude is a tune based on a poem by Yaşar Kemal, who is a very famous author from Turkey. He wrote this poem about solitude when he was 17, and we're using the concept of comprovisation, improvising compositional ideas in real time. And while I'm playing the tune, you also can read the English translation of the poem.
Oh
In my last tune, I play an arrangement of John Coltrane's tune called Resolution. As a musician who comes from a different musical tradition, I wanted to explore how the Bağlama can fit in the context of the jazz tradition, and how can I expand on it with having a contemporary free improvised section played with a piano trio. Thank you. I want to thank everyone. And this is my bibliography. And that was my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Beautiful presentation, Baris. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I would like to give the word to our first panelist, committee member Dr. Mehmet.
Do you think? Okay, it's on. All right. Well, it was a pleasure to be involved in Baris's journey. I don't really have a question, but I'll just offer my impressions and comments, if you will. We met 3 times or so with Baris, and it's interesting that the next person, Yağmur and Baris, have or bring 2 very different skill sets, even though they more or less come from a similar cultural background, which is very interesting, I think. It says quite a bit about the rest of the world and the kind of music education and effects of globalization that tends to touch these musicians in so many different ways. So Baris brings a firm understanding of the Turkish folk tradition, Kurdish folk tradition, Anatolian folk musics through the Bağlama. And so it was interesting to see how throughout this year, how he evolved and how he managed to create these new sounds. I certainly have my favorites out of the things that he did, and some of them are quite magical, spellbinding. I was really not expecting things to start cooking that much. And I mean, I'm just being honest. At the very beginning, I didn't know that we would actually end up with some music that was quite profound, moody, reflective. It's and some other things are clear that he just opened the first page in a journey. It's very clear that the jazz tradition is a new language, and I think he'll acquire that more and more, and that will also result in, I think, some more refined music maybe in the future. But I think this is an amazing start. Well, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, we have advisor Professor Anastasia Petrova.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
First of all, it's been quite a journey, and as Mehmet pointed out, it's been a pleasure being a part of it. And I wrote down a few things, and the first thing that I wrote, I think this is really something that can only exist inside BGGI, where we could have such an instrument collaborating with the jazz rhythm section. And when you came once and you said, I'm playing on 8 CE projects, how am I going to handle that? And I was like, wow, this is really, it's really something unique about that, and this cultural exchange that we all come from many different backgrounds, and we are able to create music together. And so it's really, really fascinating to see where we were in September and where we are right now, where you came in and you said, I didn't really work with drummers. I don't know what to do. And then this is just a fantastic work as a result of all this exploration and collaboration that you were open to. That's one point I wrote down. Another one was, I'm always fascinated in seeing people exploring an instrument that is unique and rare, because it does take resistance to get acknowledgement and respect for the instruments, especially if you're pushing the boundaries of the traditional instruments. And as a person who plays a less familiar instrument as well, I know how it feels sometimes in terms of inclusivity and just being allowed to break the tradition. And it does take bravery and just a really good community of like-minded people that are open to that too, which is great that you have the mentor that encouraged you and that taught you in a way that he was open-minded. He inspired you. You will inspire others to open the doors of seeing things the way they're not created, or more than they can offer. I think that's something BGGI is doing a fantastic job on that too, just seeing things beyond what they are. Another thing I wrote down is hearing you sing is something so special, and I think you can tell from all the clapping that we got here, because I want to hear more of that. There is something special about you singing, you connecting with your instrument, and adding lyrics, and I would love to hear more of that. And that personally reminds me of my stepfather singing when I was growing up in Turkish music, and it was it really brings really nice memories. Another thing I also wrote down is I would like to see you as a leader and be in forefront about your ideas, about how you want to find a certain sound, how you want to find this harmony there and here, and finding really a community of musicians that will be willing to enter that explorative space with you to create something special. I hope that you, as you already found a few people here, which is great, I hope your journey continues on that. And my question is connected to that, actually. I was wondering if you could expand a little bit more on your future plans, if you're comfortable with that. Like, where would you like this journey to take you? And if there are some things that BDGI introduced you to that you would like to incorporate in your daily routine, or maybe in 5 years, maybe in a year, maybe tomorrow.
I'm not good at thinking in the future, but I will give my best. So I hope that it was my first time doing my own project. So that was a whole new experience for me. Otherwise, I was always included in different things, more or less. But it was a whole different experience to lead something or to organize the stuff for the recordings, the rehearsals, which I have to be better in that. But I have to say I would like to go more in that direction, exploring more, and would like to be more aware of things that I do. That's my biggest point, actually.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Baris, and thank you, Anastasia. And up next, we have Artistic Director Danilo Perez.
Baris, wow. That sound with the bowing, the bow zero gravity stuff, that is something, man.
Thanks.
And the singing, and there's just some beautiful music here. So much potential. So much potential. And you accomplished to do what the first time we met. And it's what I'm saying to a lot of you. It's like you come up with a lot of ideas. Like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And I told you, you only have 1 year and a half. Remember, and it's great to see how much you have come together, man.
Thanks.
I want to also highlight and congratulate you that in the moments that I felt there were a lot of questions coming from your side in terms like emotional questions, question of what am I doing here, what is my place in here, which I don't really talk to you about it, but I can somehow as I get older I can see people thinking somehow. I don't know why. But I want to tell you that in every moment that we had some kind of butting heads or any situation like that, you were always very respectful. You were always very determined in your way. You have a very special way to move in this space. And I got to tell you, I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Because a lot of students, when they do in the process, it's a difficult journey for all of us to be here and being in this position of challenging each other, trying to inspire you, finding ways of how can I inspire you. I would get home and say, how can I inspire Baris? You know, like more. I want to see Baris, you know. I want to say to you that trust in yourself, man. You're a beautiful man, beautiful person. And you know where to go when those ideas, and you know, we all have voices in our head that distract us. You know how to deal with that, with the beautiful talent and music that you have.
I give my best.
You are doing it, my brother. And I want to say to you, your music shows you're resilient this year. I want to congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
Keep believing in yourself and use your music to inspire first you and then inspire others to bring positive change. You have that gift, brother. I believe in you. We all believe in you. I can't wait to hear what you do with this new chapter in your life. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Big round of applause for Baris.
Thank you.